Good evening, parents, teachers, administrators, and my fellow graduates of the class of 2011. So, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. A sea of black and orange caps, a majestic auditorium filled to the brim with an atmosphere of excitement and anticipation. And finally, a triumphant walk across a gilded stage, cheers and applause mingling in glorious celebration of all that you have achieved in the past 4 years. You have persevered through the mind and butt-numbing hours of sitting through tedious classes, the excruciating homework assignments that have threatened to drive us to insanity, the teenage love-hate relationships that have filled our lives with endless frustration, and the broken-down textbooks that are older than Betty White's grandmother. And now that you're here, gathered under this magnificent golden arch roof, you're all probably wondering, this is what I get for putting up with this for 4 years? A long, boring speech by some nerdy Asian girl? Sure, I don't have the show-stopping swagger of Lil Wayne, or the attention-grabbing good looks of Megan Fox. I don't have the godlike awesomeness of the Boston Bruins, who beasted their way to the Stanley Cup. Their way to the Stanley Cup just a few nights ago. But what I do have is pride and nostalgia regarding my high school experience, two feelings that are shared by every member of this audience, whether you're graduating today or have bidden farewell to the swinging doors of high school 40 years ago. And truly, no one in this audience can deny what a crazy 4 years it's been. We've made friends, suffered heartaches. We've beaten Coventry at a Thanksgiving football game year after year. But 2011 is the critical year to remember. The year that will go down in history as the harbinger of the most pivotal and jaw-dropping events that have ever been observed by a rapidly changing world. While Egyptians were rebelling against the foul shackles of autocracy, we too were striding along the weed-encrusted shores of the Nile, taking part in the heartbreak, triumph, and forbidden love of the most inspirational production that has ever graced our stage, a.d.d. While Osama bin Laden's carcass was being punctured by a torrent of bullets on the far side of the globe. By a torrent of bullets, we were prancing through the hallways in Teletubby costumes. Yet, despite the many thrilling events that have manifested during this truly unforgettable year, the most groundbreaking and utterly momentous spectacle of 2011 is happening tonight, under this very ceiling, on this very stage. After all, 50 years from now, who's going to remember that a terrorist leader was killed this year? Or that some oppressed country staged the greatest and most controversial revolution of our decade? Some people will, if you keep up with your current events. But what will truly be remembered is that tonight, on June 17th, 2011, a talented group of 200 world leaders, doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, athletes, and friends walked across a golden stage, threw their tasseled caps in the air, and graduated. Through our own drive, determination, and passion, we have successfully bypassed all the obstacles of high school unscathed, venturing from those stress-laden hallways to the bright and welcoming archways of the Veterans Memorial Auditorium. However, although much of our success has been derived from our own motivation, none of us would be walking across the stage tonight without some outside assistance. It is with the help of our teachers that we have developed and matured into the individuals that we are today, sculpted by wiser hands into finding our passions and realizing our dreams. For me, these teachers were the insightful empress of essays, Miss Tully, the analytical math whiz, Mr. Prohaska, and the incomparable Mrs. Bowden, whose kind and radiant personality has supported me throughout the pitfalls of high school. These teachers, among many others, have guided us and broadened our minds, and for that, we should be perpetually grateful. We should also give thanks to our parents, who, with much love and patience, have raised us, motivated us, and put up with our annoying shenanigans for 18 years. Yeah. Although we have had our differences, living with our parents has truly been a character-building experience. As Calvin of Calvin and Hobbes once said, being miserable builds character. And in that case, I guess all those chores and those 4 challenging years of high school have granted us with enough character to last a lifetime. Of course, with the vast amounts of assistance that our parents and teachers have provided, we are now well prepared to enter the real world. Extensive, electric, and brimming with diversity, the world is a venue that is much different from the cinder block walls that have confined us for 4 years. For this very reason, we must cast aside the shallow social hierarchy that has shackled us throughout high school, embracing who we truly are as individuals before we journey forth into the world beyond. As I look before me today, I see people who had once been labeled as preps, jocks, emo kids, band geeks, skaters, ghetto gangsters, and of course, my people, the nerds. These cliques and stereotypes may be inescapable in a high school setting, but in real life, they dissolve into the background, character and income emerging as the primary grounds by which you will be evaluated. We have all judged, and we have all been judged, and as we poise ourselves to enter the formidable and unrelenting world, we will no doubt be judged some more. However, it is our duty as the class of 2011 to challenge the injustices that we face in society, ushering in an era of free thought and true equality in the ever-scrutinizing eyes of man. After all, 2011 is the year of revolution. We possess the character, idealism, and courage to change the world. But before we are capable of doing that, we must cast away our prejudices and open up our minds. Who you once labeled as that weird kid may have actually been the kindest and most interesting person whom you have ever had the chance to meet. Who you once scorned for being an airhead jock may have actually harbored complex notions within his mind, pondering such abstract concepts as the nature of humanity and the origin of the universe. You may have shared a musical interest, or even enjoyed the same hobbies or experiences. But these similarities are traits that have never been uncovered, simply because you adhere to some silly stereotype. I don't deny that some stereotypes are partially true. Like the typical cliched perception of an Asian person, I get good grades, I can eat with chopsticks, and I'm secretly a ninja on Tuesdays. But being an Asian is not all that I am. And like all of you in the audience tonight, there are many diverse characteristics that make up my personality. We, as human beings, are multifaceted creatures. And we, as West Warwick High School's class of 2011, are intelligent, modern, and progressive enough to overcome our differences, rising together to make a joined impact on a world that so patiently awaits our infinite potential. Like the branches of a tree, diverging from the trunk in a million directions, we are diverging from our peers in our quest for success and self-fulfillment, choosing different paths and exposing ourselves to different opportunities, experiences, and decisions. However, although our branches will expand and separate us as we each strive to pierce the distant sky, we will still share the same roots, and these roots are tightly coiled around the cinder block walls and boundless wizard spirit of West Warwick High School. As my speech comes to an end, I would like to congratulate you on all of your accomplishments and wish you all a genuinely fond farewell. Just looking at the eager and fearless faces that appeared before me tonight, I can't help but feel a strong hope for the future. Maybe we won't achieve peace in the Middle East, but we can certainly try. We are the brightest, most motivated, and I dare say, the best-looking class that has ever passed from West Warwick's humble halls. No matter what... No matter what path we will choose in life, no matter where fate conducts us in the tumultuous years ahead, we will always be wizards, we will always be awesome, and we will always be making a difference in the world. But now, it's time to party. Thank you so much for listening to my rambling and enjoy your graduation.